Welcome back, my friends. Today we're going to test out the Tops Screaming Eagle. As always, first we'll go over the technical specs. Overall length, 11.5 inch. The blade length is 5 5/8 inches. And this back portion that's sharpened here is 2.5 inches. Now the blade design is a clip point with a partial flat grind. The handle's made out of micarta. It has two gray liners in there, white, I can't tell, white or gray. I think they're white liners. The steel is 154 cm, and it is a 1/4 inch thick, as you can see, very beefy. Now it is a little hefty. It's about 22 ounces because it is 1/4 inch thick. Feels pretty good in the hand. Micarta handles or scales are rounded well. Right back here you got like a little chisel type thing. I think this is kind of like airborne knife. That's why it has this sharpened part in case you have to cut out of your harness or something like that. Has a nice thumb ramp right there. Little lanyard hole, I guess, to wrap it around your hand or something. Something I wouldn't use. And here's your forward choke up so you can get up there and do some... The thing is, you can't put your thumb on the back. Do that fine whittling. So that's kind of, I don't know, kind of odd, weird a little bit. The retail, I think, is about $270, and you can usually find them for around $170. Now, less stellar than the blade itself is the old sheath. Just a regular top sheath, nylon, pretty flimsy. I'm not really into these. Got MOLLE attachments on the back, a little bit of paracord on the bottom. There's your belt loop, very big, so you can fit whatever size belt you want. Velcro closure up top, which I'm not a fan of Velcro, because if you get mud or anything in it, then it doesn't work. You got a little plastic insert there. Slap it in and Velcro it up. You do have extra like holes right there so you could secure it down even more, I guess. Let's check for rattle. Not really. That might just be this moving around. You do have a little front pocket, and it comes with your, man, this thing's always tough to get out. Your little rape whistle, so if you're getting raped, you're gonna have a hard time getting this out. The little Tops whistle works pretty well. So let's go outside and test this thing. Now, it does have a pretty, like, bumpy coating. I'm not exactly sure what kind of coating that is. I don't know if that'll create any drag, but give it a test. Initial sharpness, let's see how this goes. This is a very dry, dead piece of wood. I'll try it around in all different spots. Seems to be pretty decent. Now down here, I can't push. No, let's try it like this then. It does have a slight recurve to the blade, and I do love recurves. Seems adequately sharp. I mean, not like razor blade or nothing. It's like a really wide geometry. So that means it'll be strong, right? It's just not like a razor blade. Let's try the back on this. I want to see how sharp this is. Oop, pretty sharp. Not as sharp as the blade itself, but it is sharp enough to cut with. Now, being just over a 5-inch blade, this thing ain't going to be much of a chopper, but let's give it a whirl. 10 chop test. Maybe that was too big of a log for me to try, but maybe we'll try. Didn't really do much. This is dead as a doornail, super hard. This is just a little smaller diameter. It might be a little easier. Give it a try. A little bit of shock through the handle. Not a ton, but I felt a little bit. So here's the destruction on the bigger one. A little bit. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just because the geometry is so wide, it's not really biting. And here's the second one. Kind of the same thing. This is super hard. It's not green at all. It's obviously dead as a doornail, which makes it a little tougher. And it's like 15 degrees out here, so my hands are freezing. Next, let's see how it stabs. Going with the grain. See if we get any slippage or shock or anything. It's sinking in pretty good. So it's a better stabber than a chopper. To the chopper! Now I'm not getting any slippage. I don't know, the handle, the shape is decent, but I think it could be more ergonomically shaped. But I'm not getting any slippage at all. Let's do a little bit more stabbing. This is a piece of white birch, pretty green. I just cut it down a couple weeks ago. Let's see how she stabs. Surprisingly, for how wide this tip is, it does sink in pretty well. Like I said, no slippage, no real shock. Not bad. This is about a, I don't know, 4-inch piece, something like that, 3.5. Let's try a baton in it. All right, got just enough blade to work with. Only thing is, you can't really hit it there. Not much tip sticking out. Let's see if I snap the old tip off. Oh, there she goes. Not too bad. Yeah, you wouldn't want to go with a bigger piece than that, really. This knife ain't meant for this, but you know how tests are. We got to do it all. That's what we do. Ooh, blasted right through. Again, no real shock through the handle. Oh, not too bad. Yeah, we'll do one more piece. This is about the same diameter, a little longer. This is, not sure if it's red maple or sugar maple. I think it's red. Here, let me flip it around this way. All right, let's see how this does. Again, not much blade to work with. Oh, wow. That was a lot easier. Must be red maple. Red maple's a little softer than sugar maple. No problem. One thing I noticed, you know, I was complaining about that wide geometry not being a good chopper, but for the baton in it, it's kind of working like a wedge. Really just splitting it right open. Now let's take a look at the edge. I'm kind of blind in the screen. I don't know if you guys can see. But I looked and I didn't see anything. It looks really good. 154 cm is some good steel. The finish, yeah, it didn't look like it wore off yet. It's just like the wood impregnated itself into it. I'll just take some WD-40 and clean that off. Still nice and straight. Actually, hold on, let me look. It actually almost looks like the tip does go to one side a hair. Not that I did that stabbing, but I should have looked a little closer. So almost like they grounded this side over a little farther than this side. But held up well. One thing I've learned from doing these reviews, usually when I handle a knife, even before I use it, and I kind of rate it in my head, I'm usually pretty close. Sometimes I'm more pleasantly surprised than others. Sometimes I'm like, wow, this is cooler than I thought it was. Kind of like that steel hatchet I just used. But this wasn't as cool as I thought it would be. Now I know I wasn't using for its intended purposes. I don't know, maybe it's more of a battle blade, like I said, a pilot's knife. And for that, it would be cool. I'm still not a big fan of that, even though I get it. If you're getting yourself out of a harness or something, I understand that, so there's a purpose. Definitely well constructed. Not much of a chopper, because it's not very big. You know, it's thick enough, it's just not long enough. That's what she said. But no, it's definitely a well-built knife. I wish the handle shape was a little bit more ergonomic to fit a human hand. It's not bad, but it could be better. 170 bucks, do I think it's worth it? If you need like a pilot's knife, hell yeah, definitely. 154 cm is definitely really good stuff. The finish, see, I cleaned it off, got all that white shit off, and it barely wore it. I mean, you only can see a couple shiny spots, maybe, I don't know. The camera shadow's messing with you. But yeah, it held up very well. The sheath, not so cool. But still, definitely a good knife. 1 to 10, I'd probably give it an 8. Yeah, that seems about right. It's always good to see my people. Until the next time we meet.